Spark and Seed proudly presents The Golden Triangle, History, Culture and Challenges in Modern Times. At the junction of the Ruak and Mekong rivers, where Thailand, Laos and Myanmar meet, lies the Golden Triangle, a region defined by its unique blend of cultures and landscapes. This area, shaped by the intersection of borders and histories, carries with it a story of trade, change, and enduring traditions. It's a place where the rivers and hills have quietly witnessed the passage of time, marking the region as a distinctive crossroads in Southeast Asia. It's a place where rugged landscapes meet rich cultural traditions, a crossroads of history that has seen both the shadows of the opium trade and the light of transformation. Today, the Golden Triangle stands as a region shaped by its past, yet steadily carving out a new future. The story of the Golden Triangle begins long before the world associated it with opium. For centuries, this remote region was home to migrating hill tribes, each bringing their own languages, customs, and spiritual practices. The Shan, Akha, Lahu, and other groups created a vibrant mosaic of cultures that thrived in the valleys and hills. They established trade routes that connected the region with the wider world, making it a hub for the exchange of goods and ideas. As colonial powers took notice of the Golden Triangle's strategic location, they laid the groundwork for what would become one of the most notorious opium-producing regions in history. The British Empire, through its colonial activities in Burma, now Myanmar, played a significant role in the expansion of the opium trade. The French, controlling Indochina, which included Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia, also had a vested interest in the opium trade, taxing and regulating the cultivation and sale of opium in their colonies. These colonial powers saw opium as a lucrative commodity, and they supported local warlords who controlled its production. Among the most notable figures in the Golden Triangle's opium trade was Khun Sa, often referred to as the Opium King. Khun Sa, born in 1934 in the Shan state of Myanmar, emerged as one of the most powerful warlords in the region. He initially garnered support from the Kuomintang, KMT, the Chinese Nationalist Party that fled to Myanmar after the Chinese Civil War. The KMT, with backing from the United States, saw Khun Sa as a potential ally against communist forces in Southeast Asia and supported his opium operations in exchange for his cooperation. Khun Sa's influence grew rapidly, and by the 1970s, he controlled much of the opium trade in the Golden Triangle. His forces, numbering in the thousands, operated with impunity, cultivating and trafficking large quantities of opium and heroin. The drug trade brought immense wealth and power to Khun Sa, making him a formidable figure not only in the region, but also on the global stage. However, Khun Sa's reign eventually came to an end. In the 1980s, under increasing international pressure, particularly from the United States, the Myanmar government began to take action against him. In 1996, Kun Sa surrendered to the Myanmar authorities, reportedly in exchange for a comfortable retirement in Yangon, the country's largest city. Despite his surrender, Kun Sa was never extradited or tried for his role in the global drug trade, and he lived out the remainder of his life in relative peace until his death in 2007. Another significant figure in the opium trade was Lo Sing Han, a Burmese businessman who also became a major player in the Golden Triangle's drug economy. Lo Sing Han, often referred to as the godfather of heroin, initially worked with the Burmese government in the 1960s, serving as an intermediary between the military and the various ethnic insurgent groups involved in the opium trade. Like Kun Sa, Lo Sing Han amassed great wealth and influence through his involvement in the drug trade. In the 1970s, Lo Sing Han was captured by the Burmese military and sentenced to death, only to have his sentence commuted. He was later released, and in the 1990s, he reinvented himself as a legitimate businessman, founding the Asia World Company, one of Myanmar's largest conglomerates. Despite his criminal past, Lo Sing Han remained a powerful figure in Myanmar until his death in 2013. These examples illustrate how the Golden Triangle became a focal point for the global opium trade, driven by the interests of colonial powers and supported by local warlords and drug kingpins. The legacy of this period is still felt today as the region continues to grapple with the consequences of its involvement in the drug trade. The 20th century brought with it the complexities of global conflict, and the Golden Triangle was swept up in the currents of the Vietnam War. The CIA's covert operations in Southeast Asia, often referred to as the Secret War, inadvertently fueled the opium trade as they supported anti-communist forces in the region. Local warlords expanded their opium production to fund their militias, making the Golden Triangle the world's largest opium-producing area by the mid-20th century. The consequences of this trade were profound. Communities became enmeshed in an economy driven by opium, while addiction, violence, and poverty took a heavy toll. The international community, recognizing the global impact of the region's opium production, began to push for change, leading to efforts aimed at reducing and eventually eradicating opium cultivation. Despite the turmoil of the opium trade, the Golden Triangle has always been a place of extraordinary cultural richness. The ethnic diversity of the region is one of its most defining characteristics. The Shan, with their deep literary and religious traditions, the Akha, known for their intricately embroidered attire and striking headdresses, and the Lahu, celebrated for their weaving and vibrant festivals, are just a few of the groups that contribute to the area's cultural tapestry. Religion is deeply woven into the fabric of life in the Golden Triangle. Buddhism, often intertwined with ancient animist beliefs, shapes the spiritual landscape. Temples and shrines, perched on hillsides and nestled in villages, serve not only as places of worship, but also as community gathering points. The rituals, festivals, and ceremonies that take place here offer a glimpse into the enduring traditions that have sustained these communities through centuries of change. In recent decades, the Golden Triangle has embarked on a remarkable journey of transformation. International pressure and local government initiatives have led to a significant reduction in opium production. Farmers, once reliant on the poppy fields, have begun cultivating alternative crops like coffee, tea, and rubber, providing them with new opportunities for income. Simultaneously, the region has started to reimagine itself as a destination for travelers. The Hall of Opium Museum in Thailand presents an unflinching look at the region's complex history, while luxury resorts along the Mekong River offer a blend of relaxation and cultural exploration. Visitors can now explore remote villages, participate in traditional crafts, and immerse themselves in the everyday lives of the hill tribes. However, this shift toward tourism brings its own set of challenges. The influx of visitors has placed pressure on local communities and the environment, raising questions about sustainability and cultural preservation. The region's governments, in partnership with international organizations, are striving to balance economic development with the need to protect the area's unique heritage and natural beauty. The Golden Triangle, despite its progress, continues to face significant challenges. Border security remains a concern, with money laundering, drug trafficking, and human trafficking still present in the area. Governments in the region are working together to enhance law enforcement and cross-border cooperation, aiming to address these persistent issues. Deforestation, driven by agricultural expansion and illegal logging, threatens the region's biodiversity. While tourism has brought economic benefits, it also poses risks to the delicate ecosystems that are so integral to the area's identity. Preserving the Golden Triangle's natural environment is crucial for ensuring that it remains a vibrant region for future generations. At the core of the Golden Triangle's story are the people who call it home. Their resilience, adaptability, and deep connection to the land have allowed them to endure and grow despite the many challenges they have faced. Stories of former opium farmers who have successfully transitioned to alternative livelihoods, local guides who share their intimate knowledge of the region's history, and artisans who continue to practice traditional crafts bring a human dimension to the region's narrative. Efforts to preserve the cultural heritage of the Golden Triangle are vital. Programs aimed at maintaining indigenous languages, supporting traditional crafts, and promoting the wisdom of local knowledge systems are essential for keeping the region's rich cultural identity alive in a rapidly changing world. The Golden Triangle is a region in the midst of transformation. From its days as the epicenter of the global opium trade to its current efforts towards sustainable development and cultural preservation, the Golden Triangle tells a story of change, both difficult and hopeful. It's a place where the lessons of history are being applied to build a future that honors its diverse cultures and fragile environment. As we conclude this exploration of the Golden Triangle, we are reminded of the importance of understanding and respecting the cultural diversity that defines this region. The story of the Golden Triangle encourages us to think critically about the challenges of development, the preservation of cultural heritage, and the protection of our environment. This region, with its complex history and rich cultural traditions, offers us a unique perspective on the interconnectedness of our world. By supporting ethical tourism, contributing to cultural preservation efforts, and advocating for environmental sustainability, we can all play a part in shaping a brighter future for the Golden Triangle and its people. The Golden Triangle is a place of remarkable beauty, cultural depth, and historical significance, a place where the past continues to shape the present. Let us take these lessons to heart as we move forward, working together to ensure that this region remains a thriving and sustainable part of our global community. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment or two. At Spark and Seed, igniting ideas, growing knowledge.